In this video, we are going to show you how to build your very own blend manifold, your very own proportioner. And so basically, we've got a couple different names that we can call these things, but essentially they are all designed to do the exact same thing. And that is to allow you to blend at least 3 different solutions into one. It allows you to adjust your chemical ratios depending upon the surfaces that you are cleaning on the go, so you're not having to batch mix anymore. And obviously in this video, we are going to be talking about soft washing, roof washing, and that will be mixing sodium hypochlorite, water, and whatever surfactant you are going to do. So that is what we are going to build for you right now. Okay, there are a bunch of parts that you're going to need in order to build one of these. And I have seen people do this with just regular old parts from the hardware store. And unless you have a valve that is specifically designed for metering, as well as check valves, things can go wrong, cross-contamination, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. And you're just really wasting your time and your money because it's not going to work like you want it to. So spend the money, follow the directions in this video, because we're going to give you some tips on how to set this thing up the right way the first time. And after we build this thing, I'm going to be giving it away to somebody from the comment section of this video. So stick around until the very end, and I'm going to tell you how you can win it, what you need to say down below in order to get this $1,100 blend manifold shipped to you. And before we get into how to build this blend manifold, I did want to mention that we are offering $100 off how to wash. And if you're not familiar with that, check this out.
Over 6 hours of in-depth training on the best methods for cleaning houses, roofs, driveways, and every other surface you might encounter on a residential job site. How to Wash covers the chemicals to use, how to mix them, the equipment, the best methods to make you the most efficient and profitable you can be, safety and property protection, specialty chemicals, as well as pro tips, and so much more. How to Wash is less than the price of one house wash, so don't wait. Click the link below.
Okay, so let's get started putting this together. And like I said, there is a specific way to lay this out. And after we assemble it, I'm going to explain why we lay it out the way that we lay it out, which is going to help to prolong not only the life of your blend manifold, but your entire soft wash system. So when we're assembling these parts, I prefer to use a thread sealant as opposed to tape. Something like True Blue is good, or this is Blue Monster. And I think it does a much better job. It gives a better seal. And if used correctly, it doesn't make a big mess. And I'm going to show you how I use that here in a second. And having good seals is paramount, because the last thing that you want to do is be chasing around air leaks, which is going to hurt the performance of your system. So the blend manifold that we're building today is for a 12-volt system. And what's really cool about this valve is that it can actually be converted from a 12-volt or to a 24-volt or a gas system, if that's what you got. Basically, the little half-inch piece slips out, and you can put in a big 1-inch piece for a much higher flow valve. And basically, you're getting 2 for 1. So that's pretty cool. So if you do decide at any point to, upgrade to a gas machine or a 24-volt system, then all you have to do is switch it out, and it comes with this. So you're basically saving a tremendous amount of money. So we're starting off with a block that has been machined down for our fittings. And as you can see, this one is already machined for 1 inch, but we have got these one-piece fittings that allow us to reduce down to our 1/2 inch. So having this block is so much better than using a bunch of individual elbows and other fittings like I used to use. But these blocks are really great, and it really decreases the chance of having air leaks, less chance of breaking, because this thing is sturdy and it's drilled out so you can mount it as well. So it's really good. So all of the fittings here are going to be 1/2 inch fittings, because we are using the 1/2 inch fittings for the batch buster valve. And as you can see, I'm putting that back in there. These things are so great. All right. So everything, like I said, everything is here 1/2 inch. One of the key elements to making a blend manifold is the check valve. Okay. You're going to cross-contaminate your tanks if you do not have a check valve. You're going to dilute your sodium hypochlorite. Your surfactant is going to get watered down. So don't try to shortcut the process and try to save a couple bucks. There is a reason why these components are used. All of these components here. Pay attention to the arrow on the check valve. Hopefully you can see that little arrow. That's the direction of the flow. So pay attention to the arrow on the check valve. I hope that you guys can see that. If not, there is a little arrow, but this arrow goes the direction of the flow of chemicals. So obviously the arrow is pointing in the direction of the flow. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get these nipples, the reducing nipples, and we are going to put a little bit of the sealant on the first couple threads. Now, you don't have to get crazy with this. I like to put it like on, the first 3 or 4 threads of the piece that you're putting in. And so basically like this, right? That is going to be more than enough to seal this up and give you no opportunity for any kind of leaks. Now, I will also say that during the course of this build, I am only going to be putting the sealant on this one piece because I want to break it down into the little pieces, into the individual components for when I send it to whoever wins it. So we'll first hand tighten, and then we'll go in with a wrench and tighten everything up. But always be careful. You do not want to over torque any kind of fittings like this, because there is always the opportunity that they could crack, they could break, which causes air leaks, which causes problems for your system. So that's the first one that we're going to do. And like I said, we're just going to mock this up for the sake of this demonstration. So next, you can see that there is a port that runs all the way through the length of this block. And the reason is because the liquid goes through these, down into there, out to the pump. So we are going to take a reducer and we're going to take a nipple, a barb, and we are going to put it right in here. Obviously, we would put sealant in there as well, but not today. And then on the other side, we've got a big hole. So we're going to have to put a plug in there, cap that off, and that's going to prevent any kind of liquid, obviously, from coming out of the back end. So now the next step is we are going to put together the center surfactant valve assembly. And as you can see, the check valve, like I'd said, it's got the directional arrow. So that means that water will only flow one way. And so these need to be pointed down. Your directional arrow needs to be pointed down. So we're going to put the check valves on the outer two parts. Okay. And something interesting, as you can see right there, you can see that bead of blue sealant all the way around. It is not messy, but if you did get crazy with it, it would be a mess, and that's the last thing you want to do. And like I said, the reason that we're putting the check valves on the outer sides and we're not putting anything right here, because we want to make sure everything is lined up properly so everything functions properly once we've got the entire thing assembled. So the next thing we're going to do is put the batch buster valve on our surfactant. Okay, we've got that. Okay, so obviously we've got our valve here. We've got our check valves here. Now we need to add our other valves, and we need to add our check valves up here. So obviously you can see right here that we need a male part. So we're going to use this male fitting right here. Again, the arrow is pointing down, and that is going to go right here. Now, I'm not tightening everything up like I normally would. So this is going to be a little bit taller than it normally is, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And then, of course, we're going to need these two right here. And as you can see, there is a reason that we have it set up like this, so it can actually be put in place and not hit the other valves, because we want to be able to have it completely operational, right? So these things can work and not get in each other's way. And then, of course, we're going to do the exact same thing on this side over here. All right, so we are almost there. The last part of this equation is the hose barbs, which are going to be for your bleach, your water, and as you can see, that's a little one because you're going to have a 1/4 inch line going to your surfactant tank and then 1/2 inch going over to your bleach and your water. So that is essentially how you put this together. Always remember that the check valves, the arrows go towards the flow, right? So they're going to be pointing down, and that is really it in a nutshell. So now that we have it assembled, it's a little bit easier to explain why we have assembled it the way that we have assembled it, because we want to put the water supply on the furthest away from the outlet, right? That leads to the pump, which is right here. So this is going to be your water, this is going to be your surfactant, and this is going to be your bleach. And the reason that we do this is because when we are done applying the solution to whatever surface it is that we're cleaning, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off the bleach. We're going to cut off the surfactant, and we are going to rinse with fresh water. And what this is going to do is it's going to flush out all of the lines And that is just going to help to prolong the life of everything within your system. If you did it the other way around, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not really going to make a whole lot of difference. It will not impact how the proportioner or the blend manifold performs, but you're just not going to be able to flush everything out as well. So that is why we set it up like this. Okay, so now obviously I think you guys waited around for maybe to learn how to put this together, but probably because they want to win this proportioner. This is worth about $1,100. It is from Southeast Softwash. So in light of that, what I need you to do in order to win is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below that says southeastsoftwash.com. And once you do that, you will be entered into winning, and probably in a week or so, I will be doing a drawing and I will announce it on the channel who gets to win this, and then you get to put it together yourself. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Do not forget to check out How to Wash. There is a link below. Remember, it is $100 off. Use promo code HBA. And again, thank you for watching.